Okay, so here are the supplies that I purchased at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to create a Deco Mesh Easter wreath today. And I might not use all of these supplies, but everything was just so cute, and I love embellishments, and so I picked up a few things. You are going to need a wreath form. This one is a 2-pack. This is a small one, an 8-inch. You're going to need your pipe cleaners that we're going to cut in half, and then your Deco Mesh. These are all $1 each. Every single thing here I got at the Dollar Tree. And so I will come back and show you the first steps of what we're going to do to get ready for our Deco Mesh wreath. Okay, so here we are. The first thing I'm doing is preparing all my pipe cleaners, and I'm cutting them in half. You don't have to do this. You can use a full pipe cleaner. I like to cut them in half because it's resourceful and you don't waste as many. And at the end, when you see how I attach them to the wreath frame, you'll see that it's less waste, and you have to wrap it around it less. So I've got these all cut, so I'm going to move those up there. And then I have my Deco Mesh. So when you have your Deco Mesh, I like to do about a foot. I like mine to be pretty full and lush. So about 12 inches. You don't have to do that. You can do half that amount and only cut smaller pieces. But the actual wreath itself will look much better if the roll-ups that you're going to be doing are nice and thick and lush. So I just go like this, and I will put that aside. I'll usually do maybe like 3 of each color at a time. And so as I'm doing this, just cutting these up, and then we're gonna roll them up like burritos almost. So here we go. Let's do some of the pink. I love this pink. It's super sparkly. I love any Deco Mesh. I don't know if you can see this in the camera, that has like a little bit of a sheen or a glimmer, a glitter to it almost. It looks so beautiful when it's complete. Again, there's no perfect science to how I'm cutting these. I don't measure them all out perfectly or anything like that. I just kind of roll it out and cut them. You won't be able to tell either way. So now I'm going to do the blue. With this Deco Mesh, it does shed a lot. So you'll have a lot of little pieces as you're cutting it. And at the end, you can also clean up any type of loose ends or stragglers or anything like that. Okay, good. So I have my colors ready. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to roll these Deco Mesh into like little taquitos almost, for lack of a better word, better phrase. So here it is, and then I just kind of put it in between my fingers. I'm going to do 1 of each color and 3 per bundle. You can do bigger bundles, but what I find is when you do the bundles too big, it gets really hard when it comes to attaching them, and they start falling all over the place. So I've done a ton of these, and I've found that 3 is kind of my magic number for the half-size pipe cleaners. So I've got my pink, I got my blue, and now I'm doing my purple. Just roll it up. You can roll them super, super tight. You can roll them like I'm rolling them, just kind of medium. And take your pipe cleaner and you just put it in the middle like this and kind of squeeze it together. And then you're going to just twist it. Okay, so you're going to have your first little bundle just like this. And I typically will go through and make about 20 of these bundles. and then I'll start attaching them. But I want to show you what it looks like when you attach these to the frame. So here's the frame. You're going to have these sections, and depending on how much you put on each section, that will determine how full or sparse it is. I like to make it super full and super tight. I think it looks better that way. And so you're going to take your pipe cleaner and you're going to put it through 2 of the sections, just like this, and then you're just going to wrap it on. As I'm twisting it on, I'm just making sure it's really, really tight. And then for these loose ends here, I just wrap them around the metal. That way there's nothing for anybody to get poked with, because the pipe cleaners are sharp at the ends. And so that's kind of what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and complete a whole section so you can see what it looks, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So this is 9 bundles. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this pretty much filled up about half of the wreath frame. I cut all of the Deco Mesh, and this is 3 of them, and there's still 6 bundles to be attached. So I'll probably use in total 6, 2 of each color, just to make sure it's really full. So I'm going to continue to just keep rolling and making bundles. And when you are attaching the bundles, you want to just kind of play with the Deco Mesh and make sure that you're covering up the pipe cleaner and it's not showing, and you're kind of maneuvering them. Once it gets to be really, really full, you will find that it gets harder and harder to attach them, just because it becomes so dense. So at the end it gets a little more tricky, but still not too bad. So I'm just going to wrap this around the center and then attach it to the frame. I'm not sure if you can see in the camera, but there's a lot of like little loose hairs, and it, you know, depending on the quality of the Deco Mesh, sometimes you get really, really great quality at the Dollar Tree, and sometimes you get poor quality. And it's not a big deal. At the end, I just go through and I trim it, and anything that's hanging out or any stragglers or anything, I just go ahead and snip them off. Okay, so as I've just attached this, you can see that the pipe cleaner is showing. And so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move it as far as I can on the frame itself, and then I'm going to move these around just to make sure that I'm hiding the pipe cleaner. And so you want to keep moving them as tight as you can to make sure that you are hiding them. The other thing is that the back starts becoming filled as well. So you want to just make sure you're pushing it all forward so that the back is pretty flat for the most part. Because when it hangs on the door, it's a lot easier when the back is completely flat. And so I will come back as soon as I have all of the bundles attached. I will let you know what the final count of bundles was for this. I believe this was a 9-inch, for this 9-inch wreath. And then we will talk about embellishments and adding on a few more things. And so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have completed the Easter wreath with attaching all the bundles. Let me see if I can get this all in the picture. So I have 25 bundles. I only needed the 3 rolls, plus I cut another 5 out of each color, just because I like to make it really, really thick. You can also complete this with just the 3 rolls and it would still look beautiful. And then I have this, what I want to call a tail that I'm going to attach to the bottom of it. I've reinforced it with duct tape on the back because my kids slam the door and I don't want these falling off. You can also do Scotch tape. You don't have to. You can also take 2 of these and hot glue them so the front and the back are both eggs. That looks really cool too, so that if it flips over, it has a beautiful design on it. When I'm attaching it, I take the ribbon that is on there and I wrap it around the pipe cleaner. You can also use Scotch tape or masking tape or anything like that if you want it to be more secure. I've also hot glued it, but the hot glue and pipe cleaners get a little bit messy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just take a little bit of tape, duct tape, just because I want it to be really, really secure on there and I don't want it to fall off. So after I wrap the ribbon around there, I'm going to secure it with some duct tape like this. And I don't want you to be able to see the duct tape once I attach it. Then I'm going to take the wreath and I'm going to look for the wherever I want the bottom to go, and I'm going to attach it to the frame. So here we go. And I'm just going to wrap it around like I did the others. And I'm going to wrap the pipe cleaner around the top so that it doesn't poke out, doesn't hurt anybody. Okay, so I'm going to start adding embellishments and I will be back to show you what that looks like and the different things that I'm going to add to the wreath. So I'll be right back. Well, here we are with the final product, and I've added the embellishments. So as you can see, I took some of these sparkly eggs and just stuck them in there, stuffed animal from the Dollar Tree, and then added the tail. And so all together, let's see, there was the frame, that was $1. The embellishments were $1. The stuffed animal was $1. I did 3 rolls, or 3.5 rolls, depending on how full you want your wreath to be. So that's $6. $7 for the eggs, and then this was another hanging one that I disassembled. You might have seen it in the beginning, so $8. And again, that's just added embellishments. Again, I love embellishments, and I love to make it as sparkly as possible, so that's $8, but you could easily do this with $6 or $7 and complete this really fun, cool wreath. I wanted to show another wreath that I did that has this same process to it, but it's much larger, and I did it for fall. And so here is a larger version of the same technique that I used with the Deco Mesh and rolling it. So these are just beautiful wreaths. I love them. They're super fun to give as gifts. Everyone is always super impressed. They think you spent a lot of money or a lot of resources on it. It's just your time mostly. A large wreath like this probably takes about 3 to 5 hours depending on how quick you are. The Easter wreath only took me about an hour and a half. So I hope you enjoyed my tutorial on my Easter wreath, and I hope that you guys have a lot of fun making ones for your friends and family as well. Thank you, and make sure to subscribe and like my channel if you enjoyed this video.